What's up, guys? Knight's Edge here again. Got a really super cool knife. I'm gonna do like a little review of it today. Before I get into it, if you're interested in joining my Patreon, links down below. Appreciate it for anybody that does, and I appreciate all my Patreons. Anything that goes towards Patreon will go towards shipping, any kind of cost associated with the channel. Really appreciate that, and I appreciate everyone that's liked the videos, subscribed to the videos, commenting, kind of keeping me on my toes. I really appreciate all that, y'all, and appreciate everyone that's kind of helped me out along the way. So without further ado, this one was loaned to me, of course, by Mr. Eddie. So check him out, Mr. Eddie _411 on Instagram. He makes a lot of cool custom knives, and he's got a really nice knife collection. It's big thanks to him that I'm able to look at a lot of cool stuff like this. This one is the PMP Kodiak. Monstrous knife. I mean, if you look at this thing, it's like, okay, that's like a cut off sword or something, right? But get a good close look at it. What you would almost call like a gas station knife, right? We'll go over all the reasons why it's not here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the specs out of the way. So overall length from the tip of the blade all the way then to the handle, just a hair over 9 inches, almost 9 1/8. Blade length, overall blade length, you're looking right at 3 and I'd say, well, I mean, shoot, if you want to go all the way up to that little spot it meets up with the handle, you're looking at 4 inches right there, and 3 3/4 if you go with cutting edge. So definitely what I would say is more than a full-size knife, right? Let's check out, and I'm kind of eager to see this myself. Zero it out. Check out the blade stock thickness on this thing. 195 thousandths on the thickest part of the spine, so not as thick as a Beowulf, but still pretty thick. Let's get close as we can to the edge, not by the apex, but still where the edge bevel starts. You're looking right around 33 thousandths, so definitely a thick boy right there for sure. And we'll do handle thickness, a little over 0.6 of an inch. Definitely a beefy, thick handle, but for this size of a knife, that actually makes total sense, right? So that kind of falls in line with the rest of it. See if I can show you what I'm talking about here. We'll do size comparisons. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, it's bigger than that. Way bigger than the Spyderco Para 3. All right, so definitely gives you an idea of how big this thing is. Ontario Knives Rat Model 1, Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. Makes Rat Model 2 look like a little tiny slip joint or something. And Cold Steel 8010. So yeah, even bigger than the 8010. I mean, the 8010 is a big knife, and this thing is bigger, a little more broad. Overall length's a little more, and definitely larger than the GPKnives 8020.5 for sure. If you're looking at the thickness carrying this thing, put it next to the 8010. Yeah, it's still pretty thick, even looking at the 8010, right? Kind of folds up nice and neat, a little more so than the 8010, but definitely wider for sure, and more broad than 8010. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get a weight on this bad boy. Now I'm guessing, and I'll probably be more off, it seems, on these larger knives. Like the larger, more overbuilt knives, it seems like I'm more off than I am on smaller stuff, which is weird, but I don't know. I would say, let's see, the balance is right there, by the way. I would say, let's see, Shoot, I'd say 8.5 ounces. See how far off I am. 10.1. Yeah, over 1.5 ounces off. So that shows you what I know, right? 10.1 ounces. So yeah, definitely a super heavy knife for sure. Put that scale away. Let me get out the blue jeans here. All right, so right hand tip up is the only way you can carry this thing, by the way. Really nice milled titanium pocket clip. Put in your pocket, someone will definitely know you've got something in your pocket, right? I mean, that's how much you got sticking up. That'll, you know, that shows you how much you got sticking up. So definitely very noticeable in the pocket. Pocket clip, no issues getting it in and out. So that is a good thing, on that. But it definitely is nowhere near, tactical, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. All right, do a hardware check on it. This is a T8 that I've got in here right now. All right, so body screws are all T8, pivot, T8 on the pivot, not captive, so that's not good. And a ton of hardware too on this thing. Let's check the clip. All right, well, that's good. I mean, T8 all the way around is a good thing, no doubt on that. Now, if you take this thing apart, definitely bear in mind that let's see, looking at something in here. I think I have to get my flashlight. Maybe this is something I didn't notice. Yeah, you got another screw in there inside of the lock bar, right? So keep that in mind too. Not sure if that's a T8 or not. It looks like a T8 though. I don't see why they would go with any other size on that. Being as how everything else is T8. Bear in mind, all you need is a T8 or 2 T8 bits to take it apart because it's not captive, right? But if for whatever crazy reason you do take this thing apart, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 body screws, right? 2 clip screws, so that's 12, and you got the 2 pivot, that's 14, plus whatever inside of the lock bar if you want to go that far with it. So a lot of hardware there to take apart, It is good that this thing has a full back spacer. I really do like that, even though it probably adds, an extra ounce or so or whatever to the knife itself. I do like that. The jimping on it, surprisingly, is comfortable. It looks like a big, a little too aggressive or whatever whenever you're looking at it. But this thing is jimped the entire way. I mean, you've got that little gap there, but this thing's jimped all the way from the end of the knife to a third of the way up the spine of the blade, right? Or at least a quarter of the way up. So even choked up, my finger resting right there and my thumb right there, I'm still on jimping. So this thing is actually surprisingly comfortable in hand. It locks in good. It is solid. And choke back, it is, hey, it's right there too. I mean, it's solid, comfortable too, choke back. So no issues there. I really like the milling, the chamfering, contouring they've done. Good access to the lock bar there. No issues there. This thing, as you can tell by the way it sounds, probably, whenever it fires out, this thing is a beast. It is a big knife, a huge knife blade, right? So definitely keep that in mind when you're closing it. And you've got plenty of time too to get your thumb out of the way, because clearing that first detent is right about there. So that's locked out totally. And right here, I'm clearing the first detent. So that's a good thing. And you still got plenty of room before this thing wants to go down on your thumb. But definitely make sure your thumb's out of the way, because you've got a heavy ass big chunk of M390 coming down, right? Now this was cut out right there. I don't know if those are speed holes or what. I think it's more along the lines of something, design wise. I think it looks pretty cool. It definitely adds a unique look to this knife. The Kodiak is a member of the family of the Titano. the Aries, the Alpha Beast, the Beast Prime, all those other PMP knives. It's kind of right there in with those. It's not as big as a Titano, I don't think. And I don't think it's as big as a Beast Prime, but they also have the Grizzly and a few other larger overbuilt knives in the same family. Now, these things are very well put together. You know, this milling and the titanium handles, that is perfect. It's really nice. You know, they did that perfect. I like the anodizing, the kind of color differential with the way the screws and the backspacer look. That's really nice. Got a lanyard there, you know, for some reason you want to add extra to this. I don't know why, but that's there in case you want it. The work on this thing is beautiful. It is an absolutely gorgeous knife. M390 on the blade, titanium on the pocket clip, titanium on the handle, the backspacer, really ergonomic. These things run around $399, $400 for these. It's actually not. It's not as expensive as some of its brothers in the same line. I'm wanting to say that Titano runs around $550, something like that. So, and I do believe these are actually available right now. I have some kind of link down below. DLT has them, I believe. I'll link them down below, although they're not an affiliate link. I do have affiliate links down below if you want to, you know, buy something different or whatever. It will go towards helping me out, but I'm going to link this down below just for the hell of it, just so, you know, in case anybody's actually interested in getting this thing. So I'm not going to put it on the most recommended knives playlist just because of the fact that it is, yeah, I mean, I can't recommend this to somebody that's, you know, looking for, you know, somebody comes up to me and says, hey, I need a good pocket knife. You know, this thing is not going to be the first thing that pops in mind. Now, it is a great knife. It's engineered well. The fit and finish is awesome on it. It feels great. It looks great. It's got premium materials. You know, as far as the price goes, there's really no issue there. And I think it's a great knife. It's just, I wouldn't recommend it to someone just based off of the fact that it is, you know, it's kind of like a showpiece. I mean, it's a collection piece. It's a large, overbuilt knife. It's meant to be funny. That's the purpose of it, right? I mean, it's like if you want something practical, you know, you could go with a Rat 2. You know, I mean, you could go with a paramilitary 2. I mean, hell, you could even go with a Cold Steel 8010. You know, I mean, this is a big bulky knife, but it with, you know, triad lock and this thing being so overbuilt, it is still a wee bit more carryable, I'd say, than the Kodiak, right? So overall, PMP Kodiak, great knife. I'll have it linked down below. Big shout out, big thanks to Mr. Eddie for letting me borrow this knife, along with a lot of other knives, and constantly helping the channel out. I really appreciate it. So definitely go check him out if you're interested in really cool knives, pictures of knives, custom fixed blades, stuff like that. Check out Mr. Eddie _411 on Instagram. Go follow him. His books are open. You know, send him a DM if you're interested in a nice custom fixed blade. And I think that's about it, y'all. Appreciate everyone, again, that's a Patreon member. Appreciate everyone subscribing to the channel. If you want to listen to me ramble about knives more, you know, if you want to hear me sit here and yak and act like I know what I'm talking about, definitely hit the subscribe button. I appreciate everyone that does. Hit the like button. And until then, I'll see you on the next one, and stay sharp, y'all.